You know, there are so many cars from different eras and generations on display here tonight. It's really awesome.
Something for everyone, and one dates back nearly 100 years. We're talking about a Ford Model A, and it really looks like it's more fit for the silver screen. Rolling through some of Hollywood's most cherished movies, the Ford Model A became a star of its own, and it caught the attention of Barbara Lloyd as a young girl.
When I was a little girl, I've seen a lot of Model A's going by my grandma's cottage, and I wondered if I could ever get one of those.
Her husband was actually on the hunt for something else when he stumbled upon the car that would make her childhood dreams come true.
Well, my husband went on a hunting trip with his friend and come home with the Model A instead of a deer. He got the Model A for the engine because his brother was working on a coupe. So he was going to give his brother the engine and scrap the rest.
That all changed once the Davison woman set her eyes on the car that reminded her of the notorious bank robbing couple who helped to make the Ford Model A famous.
So I've always liked the Model A's. I like the old Bonnie and Clyde story, and I thought this was a Bonnie and Clyde car, but it wasn't. But it's close to it. I said, we are going to fix it for me. And he kind of hesitated. And a friend come over and said, oh man, that's a sweetheart. We're gonna fix it up. So about 2 days later, in the garage it went, and they started tearing it apart and working on it.
So, over the next 5 winters, her husband started restoring this sweetheart for his.
It was in rough condition. The interior was bad, the body was bad.
But he wasn't the only one. Barbara herself did a lot of the sandblasting, and they had to get creative with the restoration because with a car like this, you can't just go to your local auto parts store.
The inside of the body is all wood. We got the wood, it didn't fit. I had to put it in my hot tub to shrink it, and it finally fit, and then we started putting the wood on the car.
She kept everything as original as she could, down to the little details.
It was a stick shift. It's mechanical brakes. It's very hard to turn, but I knew I could do that because my father had a stick shift, so I was kind of familiar with it. Well, in the back seat, it has blinds that you can pull down. It has grab handles that you can get out of, and it also has flower vases in the back. The paint job is lacquer. You put the lacquer on, you scrub it off or buff it out, and then you polish it.
She and her husband restored it so well that she even sent pictures of her sweetheart to an ad looking for Model A's for a Hollywood production. The car didn't get the part, but has a starring role every time Barbara gets behind the wheel.
It just gets a lot of looks. It's fun to drive. I just love driving it.
You can't find her Model A on a silver screen, but you can see Barbara driving her sweetheart all across mid-Michigan.
Well, I belong to the Scripps Bay region, and we go back to the Bricks on Saturday on 2nd Street, and we have a potluck lunch for all of us, and we just gather together and talk around.
It may not be a movie, but this Model A has one sweetheart of a story.